Hey, it's Haley. Welcome to the Haley Show here on Auntie YouTube channel. My name, of course, is Haley, and I'm the Canadian crafter behind The Foiled Plan here on YouTube. Now, on my own YouTube channel, I like to dabble in all different types of crafting. So just know that every episode of Hey, it's Haley on Auntie Tay's channel is going to be different from the last. We might be foiling, working on sublimation projects, learning how to design things using Cricut or Silhouette, creating upcycled DIYs, working with resin, learning how to emboss. The list goes on, and I'm so excited to share all these fun crafty things with you. In today's project, we're going to learn a painting technique to create an ombre effect. So if you've ever seen a picture where one color faded seamlessly into another color, that is an ombre effect. And for that, we're going to be working with chalk paint. So let's get started. Now, this is an old sign that I got at Michael's with the intention of sanding off that phrase and adding HTV to it. But then I had the idea of painting it so it matched my home aesthetic a little better. And that's exactly what we're doing today. So because the base piece is actually wood, it's screwed into the frame, which is galvanized. So I've just taken a little baby screwdriver and I've popped the screws out so that I could pop the wood piece out. If you choose not to do that, I would recommend masking out your frame just so you don't get any paint on it. But this little extra step of prep work in the beginning will make it so much easier to just pop it back in the frame and be done with it. You can also sand off that phrase before you begin painting, but this chalk paint works so well you don't really need to. I ended up just doing one coat and it covered the letters entirely. This paint is chalked up paint, which is available on shopauntietay.com. The color is Robin's Egg, which is this really pretty dusty blue color. And the other color that we're going to fade into is navy. Now, if you do purchase these on shopauntietay.com, feel free to use my code, The Foiled Plan, to save some money at checkout. And thank you in advance because I do earn a small commission from that purchase. So much appreciated. Anyways, we are going to start at the top. We're going to start with one color and we just brush back and forth nice and gently. And once we get it really covered in paint, any stroke that I make sure I go completely from one side to the other. Otherwise, you'll end up with little brush stroke marks, and we don't really want that. Also, make sure it's really saturated in those crack areas if you happen to have those. Once we get about halfway through, I'm going to start on the bottom with the navy color, and I'm going to pull that up towards the Robin's Egg blue. Now, some people would use a larger brush. I personally like working with a smaller brush. So it's completely a personal preference style of painting. So whatever you like to work with, you go for that. Some will even use a sponge brush. So this is just how I like to do it. And then once we reach the point where the colors are touching, I like to pour some of the initial color right on the canvas. And then we're going to start blending them together. And it's going to look crazy. Don't worry. The more we blend, the better it's going to look. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I actually don't dip my brush into water to remove paint whatsoever. I have butcher paper underneath the canvas, so as I'm blending the colors together, when I have an excess of paint on my brush, I'll then wipe it off on the butcher paper and then use that dry brush to go back in and continue blending back and forth. Then I'll make sure that the brush is really dry or at least not saturated whatsoever with the paint, and I'll start at the very top and I'll drag my brush from one side completely to the other side and just slowly work my way all the way down to the bottom. And that's also going to pull some more of the color down. And once I got to the bottom, there was a little bit too much of that light color down there, so I just pull back in some navy and I start at the bottom and do the same thing, working my way upwards. Once it's dry, you can just leave it as is for a nice art piece look, or you can hand paint a phrase, stencil paint a phrase, or even add HTV to it, whatever you prefer. For myself, I think I'm going to leave it as is, pop it back into the frame, and then I might even decide to paint the frame in a matte black so it matches my home decor a little better. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how to achieve an ombre look using chalk paint. Make sure you're subscribed to Auntie Tay's YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of her future videos, along with any more episodes of Hey, it's Hailey. Again, my name is Hailey, and I'm the Canadian crafter behind the foiled plan here on YouTube. So if you'd like to hang out with me, my YouTube channel will be linked in the description box below, as well as all my other social media. But you can always find me at the foiled plan. Well, thanks again for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a super awesome day. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.